Alright, we're here today working on floorboards for our 1980 Drascombe Lugger ONKAHYE. We did the port side a couple of years ago because one of the boards had broken. I bought all the boards at the same time, but once I got the port side done, we went sailing. We did other stuff, and so the starboard side boards have been laying underneath the boat trailer for a couple of years at least, maybe more like 4 or 5, not for sure. But we want some pictures for an article we're writing, so I thought it'd be nice if we had the boards matched on both sides. So here's the floorboards out of the starboard side, flipped over. Got the new boards, the blank slate down below them. We've come through and traced around them with a Sharpie, and got some folks wanting to build some floorboards. So see, these are some of the detail items that someone making them might be interested in. The using this 1-inch dimensional lumber, which measures out at 3/4 of an inch and about 5.5 inches wide. That kind of lines up to about the same width of the planks on our deck here, which are 1x6s, so 3/4 inch by about 5.5. So it's kind of easy to lay the blanks, or the planks that haven't been cut, down below, and then flip the pattern over, lay it on top of it, and start marking. So since I flipped the pattern over, I also flipped the new planks are flipped over also. So we get rid of everything's gonna get turned over the other way. But it's easier to mark them this way because we've got these, I'm calling them cleats, or these little battens on the bottom that tie everything together. So some of the details, a little nailing pattern, just alternating all the way across. This is the aft. Towards the stern of the boat, there's a little bit of a bevel made there. And you can see this board set back about 1/4 of an inch. Over here the board actually sticks out or so, a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch. Maybe even closer to 1/2. And this cleat and the cleat from the opposite board kind of bump into each other, and that maintains that gap that's going to be between the other side board. A little bevel cut here. The edge of the board is eased as well. Come up here to this third cleat. Tiny small bevel cut. Get set back in. Oops. About 3/4 of an inch. And about the same over here. There's also a little small bevel cut here, about 20-25 degrees or so. That just makes it easier when you put it in. It kind of notches up against the inside of the center plate case. Up here, this next one, same thing, about 1/2 inch in, with just a little take it off the edge. And on the inboard side, it's about the middle of the center plate case. It's probably back a good, right here, it's back a good 1.5 inches or so. So take note of these measurements if you're using your old boards as a template before you start pulling everything apart. Because a few little details like this, about 1/2 inch or so, little tiny bevel there. And once again, where this cleat is actually sticking out a little bit. Get back here. Close to 1/2 inch, so that it butts up against the port side board. Up here at the top towards the bow, this little cleat set pretty flush. And then there's this cutout here for the center plate uphaul that's copied over onto both sides of the floorboards. So the way we like them, like I said, once you get a dimensional 1x6 board, you might be able to get pressure treated pine, like this deck board right here. It's 1x6. It's pressure treated. It's going to last a long time, and the edges are already eased on it. So you could go to probably your local lumber store. If you're here in the U.S., Lowe's or even at Home Depot, and they got stacks and stacks of this. Pick out, I'd buy 7, and I'd buy them about 10 feet long, because all of this extra that's right here will get cut up to make that little small inner cleat around this uphaul, and it also make all these cleats that run torque ships. And then you've got this little small section here. You're gonna have to have a board for that as well. So on the dabber, we used went to the local building supply center. They carried some Peruvian teak, also Brazilian. It's called Kumaru. So we used some of that. And what we're going to do next is we're going to gently lift off this old board and make a couple of take a square and make a couple of marks just right across where these cleats are, so we have good marks to line the boards back up when we get ready to start putting the cleats back on them, because we're going to have to pick everything up and cut it, and then we put it back down. It's nice to have it a little mark showing to where to line it up. So that's for the 1980 Drascombe Lugger ONKAHYE.